Spirit.
Amen.
Please be seated. Okay, so we have stepped back into John's Gospel this week. And it is a glorious and wonderful story, isn't it? Jesus at a wedding. And that's the person you want if you've gone a little bit cheap. And you might have run out of a few things. And we have this kind of wonderful image that begins with just the community has gathered to celebrate the marriage of the bride and the bridegroom. And part of that tradition would be that, it's a days-long event, and how exciting it would have been. And how very expensive, too. Because, you're meant to offer hospitality to one another. Though there's kind of another part to it, another layer in here about the hospitality that the community is also willing to offer to the bridegroom and the bride. So there's a little part there too. As this day's event goes on, it's not just the family providing food and drink and fun and frivolity, but also that the community that's gathered participates in that giving too. And so we can see this wonderful exchange between Mary and Jesus, which we don't know because unfortunately we don't have tone, but you can kind of tell that that is like a mother-son exchange, if there ever was one. Jesus. There's that eyebrow lift of, they don't have any wine. Go down to the store, we don't know, but Jesus, come on, do something. Mom, it's not my time, come on. There's a little, but somehow she knows in that exchange that he's going to do something. And this is considered the first sign of the 7 signs that appear in John's Gospel. These are signs that, dare I say it again, testify to who Jesus is. And they testify to his deity. And they testify to the utter, wonderful abundance. And it is abundant and ridiculous. Of all things, it's not like it's an abundance of blankets. Yes, we have later on the sign of the abundance of the bread and the fish. But this is wine. It's not grape juice. It's wine. Wine that is used properly, when used properly, not abused, is for frivolity and celebration. And this is a sign of that abundance that God pours out upon the world. And the sign of the abundance that God pours out actually in the person of Jesus Christ, but it is that abundance that surrounds us. And it's that abundance that's also lived out in those gifts that we hear Paul writing about in his letter to the Corinthians. All of those gifts, and I can't help but think it is very fortuitous that we have this on a Sunday that is going to be our annual meeting. I wouldn't think it that way. Nobody likes a meeting, of course not. But there are an abundance of gifts. And there are abundance of gifts in this place. You're only to pick up that pamphlet and flip through, not right now, or okay, right now you can, and just read through all the different ministries that are happening. And even the ministries that you would think, well, that's not a ministry, that sounds like business. It's a gift. working together to show the glory of God in the world. That happens in this place. And I'm not even sure that it is a full testament to all of the gifts that are here. But it is very impressive. And that is God's abundance poured out on each and every one of us. Poured into our hearts. That each and every one of us has a gift here that is for the building up of the community and the building up of the kingdom. Each and every one of us has that gift to offer. And certainly there may be times when we think, well, what do I have? I can't do this like this person does. Well, they know how to, they really know how to sing. Or this person, they really know how to balance a budget. Or this person, they really know how to speak. Or this person who can perform miracles, I don't know who that person is, but I would really like to meet them. But each of us has a gift to offer. And perhaps it is not measured by a worldly measuring stick, but it is measured in God's love. Each and every one of you. Isn't that wonderful? To think that you sit next to somebody who has such wonderful gifts that are somehow complementary to your own. Isn't that a wonderful thought? That each and every one of you has something to share, not to be hidden. And that is what we're to do, is we are going to pour out that abundance. Share those gifts. Here in this place at St. Thomas, and in the community of Diamond Head,